Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. Hey now and a hey now. Our number two of the line, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Andrew McLean, who.com. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Make sure you're following us on all the socials, Facebook, X, Instagram. We're on all of it. We're everywhere. So y'all check us out, and we'll get you going. You get to follow us and all the things that we do. Carrie in the house. Carrie, what's up, buddy?
What's happening?
Chilling. Just
Like
chilling.
a villain?
Chilling like a villain. Big plans this weekend?
Man, you have no idea.
Gonna get wild and crazy.
It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
There's no football, really. So,
Do you have Army Navy? Is that this weekend?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Big game.
Well, you can keep up with Michigan's coach and what he's doing or when he gets out of jail.
Well, I know what he's doing. He's in jail right now.
That's a wild story, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
He ends up
He ruined a career.
hooks up with a staffer, doubles her pay, by the way, doubled her salary.
Well,
And
I'm sure she
then-
deserved it.
Yes, I'm sure she deserved it. Then he goes off, gets fired, and has a fight with his wife, who he's got 2 or 3 kids with, and then says he's going to kill himself, and then shows up at the homewrecker's house, tells her he's going to kill himself, but says, I'm going to kill you first. And then he leaves, and police end up finding him and arresting him.
Yeah.
Boy, what a fall from grace, though. You're a
Man,
big-time college coach, and
He
you just
had it made. He was just given that job. Just like, here, your turn.
That's why this whole aspect of cheating as a married person is just, it's so destructive. Like it can cause you to spiral so fast because there's obviously so much involved. I mean, you do something, you get divorced, you end up fighting for having to fight to see your kids, you lose all this money, you just everything spirals. And somebody that's, maybe not, completely mentally sound can do some drastic things in that situation. And all you had to do was keep your hands off a staffer.
Yeah, he had a top 10 coaching job.
Are you not busy enough?
Yeah, how do you have time?
Yeah, how do you have time for a family and then a side chick?
Maybe you could have beaten Ohio State if you took more time in
Yeah,
game planning.
I just assume that college football coaches are just constantly on the go.
I think the ones that are successful are. The ones that are not so much.
Crazy. By the way, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah, how was it?
I almost called it the Transgender Orchestra. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It was good.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
It was Christmas music, which is not really my speed, but it was.
For Christmas music, they do a good job.
Yeah, the show itself was good.
Would you go again?
Probably not. I mean, just being honest, it's just not. It's not really my style. I mean, I'm glad I went and that I can say I've seen it, but I wouldn't be like, there's some people that go see them every time, they've seen them 20, 25 times, and it's just,
Was there singing?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But there were so many different singers. Like, each song had a different singer, so I didn't know. I didn't know what's going on.
Where to look?
Yeah, and I didn't know what the songs were.
You didn't know what the songs were.
No, you couldn't tell. I mean, there was a couple where you're like, okay, I know that Christmas song, but the majority of them, I had no idea what they were.
For me,
Never heard them.
I've never seen them. Probably should go see them at least once.
Yeah, I would recommend going and checking that out. I mean, it was a good show.
I think I have a CD of theirs.
And plus, it wasn't like overly. I mean, it looked like the thing was probably close to sold out, but it didn't seem overly packed. Like it was easy to navigate.
They do come to Birmingham every year about the same time around Christmas.
Really?
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not much demand for them in the summertime. So I guess maybe they do a big. I have no idea their tour schedule, but
No, it was very comfortable. Like it wasn't just there was when I'm used to going to events and concerts where it's just like massive amounts of people. There's just all over the place, long lines.
They didn't launch any cola off the stage at you.
Fago.
Yeah,
No,
that was good. That's a plus.
But hey, you want to get me to come back? Start launching some 2-liter Fagos off that stage. I'll check that out again.
That's pretty funny.
For sure. I'll never forget that. By the way,
I would imagine you couldn't.
That was a very interesting time in my life. And it's funny to commemorate that. Peyton asked if, I was trying to. Kids these days, because they get everything already, when you try to figure out what they want for Christmas, they're like, "Oh no." You asked me when I was a kid what I wanted for Christmas, bro. I had a list a mile long.
I just handed my parents a catalog.
Yeah, because we didn't get a lot of stuff when we were kids. Like it was kind of few and far between. But now kids get everything they want, and so it's kind of like they're like, I don't know what I want. We got to implement well, mine's going to be an adult in 3 years, but we got to implement a rule where it's like you can't have anything all year. You got to be we're going to pretend like we're poor and you don't get no toys, no nothing. And then at Christmas, you can tell me what you want.
You get 2 things.
You get 2 things.
Under $50.
You get 3 gifts, just like the nativity scene back in the day. There's people that do that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean,
probably keep you from having spoiled-ass kids.
True.
3 gifts.
Used to be, it always sucked, like in May or April, you'd find something you really wanted for Christmas.
It's too late.
Or you really wanted, and you would get told that you had to wait till Christmas, and you're like, man, that's like 10 months away.
Well, and I bring that up is because one of the things he did tell me was he wanted an ICP shirt to commemorate that show we went to. So.
I'll get you that now, son. You don't have to wait till Christmas for that.
So he's going to be wearing an ICP shirt, little hatchet man on the back.
He'll get suspended from school because somebody will be offended by his shirt.
Probably. He had a Slipknot shirt on one time. Some old lady stopped him in the grocery store. She's like, that's a pentagram.
And he replied with,
I don't even remember what he said. I think it was like, okay.
Thank you for noticing. You ever heard them? They're great.
Good man. All right, Alabama Professional Services. Let me tell you about them real quick. AlabamaProfessional.com. The spraying of bugs, the killing of bugs, the pest control of bugs. You need that done, and you need that done on a regular basis. When APS does it, they do it every 3 months, every quarter. They hit you up and they say, hey, it's time for you to get your maintenance. Would you like us to come? You can tell them yeah. You can tell them no. You can tell them they need to wait a week or two. Whatever's convenient for you, they work on your schedule. And when they come in, they get it done and they get out of there. You don't even have to put the animals up. The stuff they use, the chemicals they use, pet friendly. And they've I've been using them for so long, and they do such a phenomenal, phenomenal job. I wouldn't have it any other way. So whether it's pest control, foundation issues, cracks in your driveway, basement waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, they handle all of that. But you have to call them and set up an appointment. 205-951-9717. That's 205-951-9717. AlabamaProfessional.com. Lot to get to. Let me get to Richard the Cop first. Richard, what's up, buddy?
So, Grady Judd is the prime king sheriff, first thing. And second thing, for your son's Christmas, go all the way with it. Get him an ICP, a Jamie Madrox, a Twisted. Get him a Blaze the Dead Homie. Get all with a psychopathic guy.
That's a good idea. I don't know half of those people, but I can guess what genre they're from.
And when I used to go to the gym powerlifting and I wanted to get angry and psyched up, that stuff was in my ear.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
My song is Dead Body Man.
Dude, how about Richard the Cop listening to ICP and Twisted?
I'm telling you, brother. And I started watching them here. There's a song. I can't say the name of it, but Google the initials Psychopathic Records and BMA is the name of the song. Baddest alive.
Psychopathic Records, BMA.
Baddest MFer alive. Yeah, is the name of the song.
If alive. Okay, I'll check that out. I got a note
Yep.
of it.
Boys, I got more bodies put in the car.
All right, man.
All right.
Which is actually the name of another ICP song. More Bodies in the Car. I'm just kidding. The track Baddest MF Alive appears on Fiend's 1995 album Won't Be Denied. It was provided to YouTube by the label Engine, not explicitly psychopath, blah, 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 blah. Additionally, there is a documentary released in 2025 titled The Baddest Alive Documentary, which focuses on Fiend and is presented by FDE Films. Huh. Well, that'd be interesting to watch. So that's Richard the Cop's jam. Not what I would have guessed, but
A little surprising for me too.
nonetheless, man, we all got weird music tastes, don't we? All right, 205-545-9950. I gotta move rapid speed. I got a whole lot to talk to y'all about. We'll do that when we get back. Chuck Schumer is very angry, by the way. Is he not angry all the time? Yes, of course he is. So Chuck Schumer holds a press conference yesterday, and he's furious. He says he's mad, and he was about to storm up to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and demand answers about why they're taking out narco terrorists trying to kill Americans. And you know Chuck Schumer, when he gets angry, he uses his very angry Chuck Schumer voice. And this is what it sounded like.
Now, finally, this afternoon, Secretaries Hegseth and Rubio and top officials will brief the Gang of Eight, and I'll be there. I plan to confront Secretary Hegseth on exactly what the hell is going on in the Caribbean. I plan to demand Secretary Hegseth give the total, unedited videos of what happened in the September 2nd boat strikes. Trump originally agreed to do this, but now they're afraid. What's Hegseth hiding? And second, I will demand of Rubio and Hegseth what the hell is going on in the Caribbean and in Venezuela. What are their plans? How far do they plan to go? Trump has already talked about Venezuela waters and even going attacking Venezuela on land. How far do they intend to go? And when Trump says these crazy things, does he really mean them? And will he drag America into an endless war? It's about getting truth for the American people. The American people are entitled to see the unedited videos. Last week, Trump said he'd have no problem releasing the videos. Then yesterday, he walked back his statement, claiming he said it was fake news. You know, this guy's amazing. He said it. It's on the air. Millions saw it. Now he says it's fake news, even though he said it. It means he's a fake. Let's be clear. The only way to bring clarity is to release the full unedited tapes. That's why the NDA included a provision requiring the Pentagon to hand the tapes over. If they don't, Pete Hegseth's travel budget gets slashed 25%.
Oh, my. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's always funny to me to hear warmongers talk about how Trump's going to drag us into an endless war, another endless war with Venezuela. How long do you think a war with Venezuela would last?
10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 20 at best.
Yeah.
It'd be over with. We're not getting dragged into an endless war. And as a matter of fact, if you want to use the theory that China or whoever would want to get involved, Russia would want to get involved in defending Venezuela, I'll tell you right now, they don't want to do that. They got their own problems to deal with. They're undergoing their own negotiations. Like they don't have time to be piddling around with Venezuela. But this is all political posturing. And so Chuck Schumer, he wants to seem and sound like a big tough guy, and he says, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to storm up to the Secretary of War. He won't call it the Secretary of War. He still calls it Secretary of Defense. I'm going to storm up to Pete Hegseth's office and demand that he give me the answers that I want. I want to see all the videos. I want all the information, and I want to know why you are taking out these poor, innocent narco terrorists. So he did. Chuck Schumer actually went to Pete Hegseth and demanded answers. And based on what Chuck Schumer said when he came out of that meeting, I'm going to assume that it didn't go as he wanted.
Okay. It was a very unsatisfying briefing. I asked Secretary Hegseth, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, would he let every member of Congress see the unedited videos of the September 2nd strike? His answer, we have to study it. Well, in my view, they've studied it long enough, and Congress ought to be able to see it. I told him that every member of Congress, so many members of Congress, Democrat and Republican, had a right to see it, wanted to see it, and should see it. In terms of Venezuela, I asked them what their strategy is and what they were doing. Again, did not get satisfying answers at all.
So that didn't go well. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. So I watch this and I watch them throw their temper tantrums. And granted, they're just, again, doing this is for political posturing. They want to pretend like they're up there doing something and defending the interest of their constituents. But most people in New York will tell you that Chuck Schumer has done nothing to protect their interest. And they put on a show. They don't care about what's going on with Venezuela. They don't even care about these narco terrorists. What they care about is political points. And Chuck Schumer is in the business of scoring political points. And he's been successful with it in the past. But those days are gone. After you do it for 10, 20, 30 years, and you do the same song and dance, people are like, whatever you say. Whether or not people agree or disagree with the drug boats, which, by the way, I don't see many people outside of Washington, D.C. saying a whole lot about this. They're just grandstanding. And again, it's yet another issue that is going to blow up in their face if it all comes to fruition. If they get what they want, it will blow up in their face. And I think to an extent they probably know that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But when they do things like this is going to blow up in their face. They do it with the intention or the anticipation that the Trump administration is not going to give them what they're asking for. They holler and yell and beg for it with the intention of it never coming out in the first place. A lot like the Epstein stuff. They don't actually want this. They just want to be able to use it against the Trump administration. Earnest Financial, retirewithernest.com, retirewithernest.com. My buddy David Ernest, been doing this over 40 years. What is this? This is protecting your retirement, your 401ks, your 403bs, your IRA rollovers, whether tax-deferred or tax-deferred. They secure retirements and make it grow. That way, when retirement age comes around, you got plenty of money and you're retiring comfortably. You're getting to do the things that you want to do after retirement. Call them. Doesn't cost you anything to get set up. 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233. And all their information right there online, retirewithernest.com. It's my favorite time of year, by the way. It's impeachment season. Yeah. Impeachment season is my absolute favorite, and it's a little different than past impeachment seasons. This year, we're actually not just impeaching Donald Trump, but we're impeaching members of Donald Trump's cabinet, such as, in our first case, Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK, is up first. And this impeachment has been filed by Democrat Representative Haley Stevens. Haley Stevens is from District 14, Michigan's District 14, or I don't know where she's from. I don't know a whole lot about her. But she puts out a video announcing that, in fact, she has filed those articles of impeachment.
RFK Jr. has got to go. Today I introduced articles of impeachment to remove him from office. RFK Jr. has turned his back on science, on public health, and on the American people. Under his watch, families are less safe, healthcare costs are skyrocketing, and life-saving research, including right here in Michigan, is being gutted. RFK Jr. is the biggest self-created threat to our health and safety. I cannot and I will not stand by while one man dismantles decades of medical progress. Enough is enough, and that is why I'm pushing to impeach RFK Jr., to hold him accountable, and to protect the health, safety, and future of every Michigander. Because our health, our science, and our future are worth fighting for.
RFK Jr. is a threat to all Michiganders. We have to stop him. So again, like I said, I didn't know anything about this chick. I'm like, Haley Stevens. Do I remember a Haley Stevens? And then I thought back. There was this one congressperson out of Michigan that was really flipped out during COVID when she was on the House floor melting down about, whatever. I don't even remember what it was about. It was about something. It was something during COVID and something about nurses and doctors or whatever. And I was like, surely that wasn't her. And I looked back, and it absolutely was.
I request 30 more seconds because I rise before you adorning these
gentleman
latex
from Maryland
gloves
is recognized.
Not for personal tension, but to encourage you to take
Gentleman,
this disease
gentlelady
seriously.
will
I
suspend.
rise for every American
I'm going to
who
give
is
you more
scared right
time.
now. To the families.
The gentlelady will suspend. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized. The gentlelady is out of order.
I yield the gentlelady 30 additional seconds.
The gentlewoman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
Cause of their servitude, sharing in the profession with those who have not come before you. Similar times of trying medical need, wars and flus past. You will see darkness, you will be pushed, and our society needs you. To stand together at this time, our country loves you. To our doctors and our nurses, I wear these latex
The gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from Maryland is reserves. The gentleman from Texas is recognized. The gentleman from Texas is now recognized. The gentlelady from Michigan is out of order. The gentlelady from Michigan is out of order. The gentlelady from Michigan is no longer recognized. The gentlelady from Michigan is no longer recognized.
That's Haley Stevens. She was on the House floor wearing latex gloves, pink latex gloves. It was probably some sort of, Women's March gimmick. And she was literally melting down. She's flipping out, man. And I'm like, okay, so that was her. Michigan has done a really good job of electing very bizarre people. I mean, unhinged individuals. And as we always know, there's no more obnoxious creature on the planet than liberal white women. And she is a testament to that. She backs up that theory. Speaking of follow the science, follow that science. genetically liberal white women are horrible people. That's just a fact. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the science. They're born that way. So that's articles of impeachment against RFK Jr., but that's not all. Like I said, it's impeachment season, and so everybody gets an impeachment, including Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. And there's no person more appropriate to impeach Hegseth than Sri Thanadar.
Hello, this is Congressman Sri Thanadar. Today I introduced articles to impeach Secretary Pete Hegseth for murder and conspiracy to murder and reckless and unlawful mishandling of classified information. Since day one, Secretary Hegseth has disgraced that once proud office that he holds, from issuing orders to kill everybody on board a small boat with no evidence of any wrongdoing, to launching a follow-up strike to finish off survivors who barely clinging onto their life. His actions are not just reprehensible, but illegal as well. Former military attorneys have come out and asserted that his actions have risen to the level of war crimes. He also put the lives of our own troops in danger by leaking classified war plans in an unauthorized Signal group chat, which included a random journalist with no role anywhere in the administration. Pete Hegseth was already the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in American history, but through his abysmal conduct, he has failed to even meet the already pitiful expectations that we had of him. We must impeach and remove Pete Hegseth as soon as possible. Thank you.
We must impeach the plane, the plane. Listen, we gotta have a deal here where it's like, if you can barely speak English, you can't run for office. I think that's a pretty good standard. It's a low bar, but it's a bar we should set. We are going to impeach Secretary of War Pete Hegseth for murder. Murder. Imagine getting impeached for murder. We don't even know what that means.
Mordor.
Murder.
Sounds like Mordor. Lord of the Rings.
You're getting impeached for murder. Murder. You know, I actually kind of like having Sri Thanadar around because he's so funny.
He has good hair. His hair is beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
Waves in the wind.
Yes, would you like my wig? You would like my wig from India.
There's no wig. This is my real hair.
That dude's something else, man. The Democratic Party has got the kookiest people that it's almost like you got to wonder to yourself, like, when y'all are out there, when Democrats are out there shopping for, you know, up and coming candidates, like they're out there looking for the next big thing, and they come across Sri Thanadar or they come across Haley Stevens, and they say to themselves, "Oh yeah, this is one we want. I'm filing the impeachment, and then I'm going to run for the President of the United States."
The only time you hear from him is when he goes on video and says, "I'm going to impeach so-and-so this time."
I wonder if he's on Cameo, if I can maybe get somebody a cameo from him for Christmas.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
And he can say he's going to impeach them from...
I'm going to impeach you from Christmas.
I'm going to impeach you from accounts payable.
I would chip in if he is, for sure.
Yeah. Shannon, I am impeaching you from your job in accounting. I would pay for one of those.
No credit for you.
But yeah, man, they pick absolute winners. Here's another. Here's Hank Johnson, who went on a podcast and agrees with Iran that America is the great Satan.
This is a island.
No, give me the one where he's talking about Satan. Try that one.
Yeah, we are the world's #1 bully, and we're using our immense, unrivaled power to rule over those who have less power, and we're doing it with impunity. And this sends a shocking message to the world that America is indeed what did they used to call the great hand of Satan or something like that. I mean, America under the Trump regime is demonstrating that moniker was entirely accurate. The great Satan. That's what we have become in this country.
The great Satan. Again, a sitting congressman in the United States House of Representatives, one that's been there for a very long time, by the way. Hank Johnson has been there for a while. Says that America is the great Satan. What do you think the Ayatollahs and the terror groups over in Iran think to themselves when they hear government officials saying that America is the great Satan? They're all in the business of reinforcing their own ideologies. And they're going to say to themselves, oh, Allah is so great. He's convinced American politicians that he's woken them up to the fact that America is the great Satan. Our politicians should be censured for that. At the very least, I said kick him out of Congress. This is the same Hank Johnson, by the way. As I said, he's been there for a while. The same Hank Johnson that once said during a committee hearing that if we put too many people on the island of Guam, that Guam was going to tip over.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
You put too many people on the island of Guam, and it's going. I'm afraid it's going to capsize. Nobody wants a Guam to capsize. Then you got a bunch of Guamanese people out in the ocean. We got to go save them because the island tipped over. These are the shining stars of the Democrat Party. These are their superstars. The Democrat Party, I don't know if America has noticed this, but the Democrat Party does not have a lot to offer you. And it's been that way for a very long time. The Democrat Party has not and will continue to not offer you, the American citizen, anything at all. Yeah, here we go. Earthborn Pottery Blue Light Special Art Show coming up this Saturday and Sunday. And as a matter of fact, I think Tina's going to be in here with us at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. She's going to come in and talk a little bit about it, which we're very excited for. Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then Sunday from 11 to 4. So those are your times to get in there. This is a 24,000 square foot building. It's actually an old watch factory. You can shop, you can eat, you can stay out of the weather, which I think Saturday's supposed to be kind of nice, isn't it? And then Sunday it gets miserable again. So you got a nice day, and then you got a super cold day, but you get to be inside. You'll be nice and warm. Everything will be fine. But this is a perfect place to go get some Christmas gifts for people. These are 50 different artists showcasing both their best work and some of their discounted, what they call seconds. And what a second is like unique, slightly imperfect pieces that don't really make it to market. So they make a bunch of stuff, and they want them all exactly the same. And if one's got some sort of imperfection, then they take them to the shows like the Blue Light Special Art Show and sell them, which really makes them even more unique. They're kind of one of a kind, and you're going to find something that you're going to be able to get people for Christmas. There is going to be something for everybody there. So I want y'all to show up. Remember, that they have Empty Bowls, which is a hunger prevention initiative. $25 will get you a hot soup and bread served in a handmade earthborn bowl. You get to keep the bowl, which is well worth the $25 in itself, and you're going to be supporting a good cause. The proceeds are going to benefit the First Light Women's Shelter and the Well House. So hook it up and bring a couple bucks with you. Bring cash, at least $2 cash. That's kind of the entry fee we're asking you to give them. It's more of a donation, but if you can bring $2 with you per person, bring it on in. Earthbornpottery.net is the website. Earthbornpottery.net. But, you know, maybe Hank Johnson will be there. I hope there are not too many people at the Earthborn studios. It might tip over. We don't want that. And another thing, real quick, and I'll try to get some of your phone calls on the other side. Speaking of stars in the Democrat Party, Gavin Newsom is probably up towards the top of that list, right? Newsom has been posting some of the cringiest stuff that I've seen, and it's an attempt, I think, to be self-deprecating, but it only makes him look worse. Like, he does this weird thing where he crosses his legs when he sits, and it makes him look like he doesn't, you know, have any bits down below. Like, what man can cross his legs like that comfortably and sit there and talk to a reporter or do a Q&A for 2 hours? It's weird. He would post stuff on there with him that people, opponents of Gavin Newsom, had taken and made to make fun of him and make fun of the way he sits and how handsy he is, and he reposts them himself, thinking that he's being cool or funny or something. And it's not working. But that's nothing compared to some of the other stuff he's posting, which is deep fake stuff. He posted this AI-generated video of Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and Stephen Miller in handcuffs to the tune of a song called Cuffing Season. And it's some song about a girl. It's got some sort of sexual vibe to it about handcuffing or whatever. And so that song's playing in the background as this AI-generated Trump, Hegseth, and Miller are walking around in handcuffs and stuffed in the back of a police car as, you know, some sort of, oh, that's funny type of thing. But here's what's crazy about it. It's not a very good AI video, but the crazy thing about it is the fact that Newsom is posting these AI videos even though he was signing into law legislation in California to stop people from being able to make deepfake videos about politicians. It's crazy. Newsom signed multiple bills into law in California that regulate, just last year, by the way, that regulate and restrict the use of AI-generated deepfakes, particularly in political contexts, to prevent misinformation and election interference. And yet here he is doing it himself. What a hypocrite. Headline from the AP from last year. California governor signs laws to crack down on election deepfakes created by AI. And yet here he is doing it himself. Maybe he forgot that he signed that law and that now he's breaking his own rules. Who knows? Also, another Democrat, these people, I'll tell you what, I'll wait till the other side. I've got an Ohio Democrat that was sworn into the city council seat hours after he was arrested on sex abuse charges involving children. Democrats are weird.